Welcome to Business Connection. I'm Liz Spencer. I'm joined by Tim Williams, and he's president of Dupage Home Service. Tim, welcome to the show. You're certainly somebody we should put on our team because you do home repair, renovation, remodeling, all of it. Tell me how you got it all started.
Well, I started when I was 28 years old, 1988, Reagan administration. I was just a young guy with an idea to build new homes. I had $120 and everybody told me I couldn't do it, and here I am.
And that new home construction, I'm sure, helps you now with your business.
Oh yeah, I mean that was the foundation of everything. Everything began building new homes, and then from that I had people that wanted to have this serviced or needed that fixed or and they kept calling me. Mm-hmm. So I never tried to say no. So we just kind of graduated into doing service work as well.
Right. Well, and back in 1988, we had a lot of land and people were building new construction. Fast forward to today, less new construction and more of a desire to stay in our home, but make our home or remodel our home in ways that we want it to be.
Yeah, people are really more interested in staying in their home and more customizing the home that they live in to make it theirs. Mm-hmm. Everybody always buys somebody else's home, and then there's the process of making it yours. Mm-hmm. And we kind of help out with that.
Well, and I want to talk a little bit about that, but first I want to talk about everybody needs home repair help. I mean, lots of us are handy, and most of us, like me, are not as handy as we think, or we've tried it ourselves and realized, oh my gosh, it's cost way more for me to do not as great a job. I should have just hired Tim to come over and help me with the bathroom, or repair a hole in my drywall because of some activity. They got a lot of control with the football or something like that. Tell me how you handle those little repair jobs. Is any job too small?
No job is too small. We're happy to come out and do the $60 job. If we do a good job and we take care of you, leave you with a smile, you'll remember me when it's time to remodel the kitchen. I'm not worried about that.
That's right. And one of the things I like to do is kind of make a list of if I have little items, like my faucet is dripping, my closet door doesn't operate properly, I want a mirror hung where it's not been hung before. Is that a good idea?
Make your list. Always make a list, because if I'm coming out to your house and I'm going to spend a day, I can give you a much better price than if I'm coming out for a half an hour or 45 minutes.
That's great. Well, it's good to know, because I think we often start looking around and we get overwhelmed by all these little things, but if we put them on a list and give them to you, hey, done.
Yeah, we can knock them out. We do this for a living. We do a good job. You'll be happy. You'll recommend us.
That's great. Now, if we want to graduate from the small job to what I call a little bit more a bigger job, bathrooms and kitchens are the number one things we want to improve in our house. How do you help us with that?
Well, we'll come out and we'll get involved with the design process with you. I want to ask questions, listen, get an idea of what it is you want to do, because you'll have something in your mind that you envision as the end product, and it's our responsibility to make that happen as much as your budget will afford. Right. So I'm sure budget drives it. I'm also sure probably space, because sometimes we're over at other people's houses and we see the nice new shower in their bathroom or a better faucet set up, and and they may have a different type of bathroom than we could fit in our own, and that's probably where your design helps. Just yesterday I had to tell a lady that I'm sorry you can't have that shower valve because you don't have the space for it, unfortunately. Right. So we went in and she found something that was a good compromise, and now she's happy with that one. But there are limitations to space and what you can do. But for the most part, we can do a lot of things that you wouldn't think of in a small space. I always like talking with someone like yourself when I'm thinking about remodeling, because you see so much in your line of work and you have the expertise, and you often make great suggestions that I never even thought of, because I'm not there. I have a gentleman who makes custom cabinetry. I try to always take him with me when we do kitchen remodel estimates because he is such a fountain of information, and he just kind of captures people with his ideas. And, you know, we can do this and move that and put this over here. And I just kind of sit with my mouth open going, wow, that's a great idea. And yeah, it helps to have experience and expertise in a specific area.
It certainly does. And you moved on to kitchens. Kitchens are very important. I think they're the heart of the home. We all gather there. And sometimes it takes us a little while to get to that kitchen renovation stage in our lives. And then we call you and you kind of help us out.
Yeah.
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 How should we think about a kitchen remodel? Do you involve first? Should we look at appliances? What's our natural steps?
Well, if you're planning to remove and replace countertops and cabinetry, you want to get us involved earlier. The one common mistake I see a lot of nowadays are people will go out and they'll order a granite countertop or a quartz, which is great, and they'll have an undermount sink. But nobody ever calls to see if the plumber can actually make the plumbing work on that sink. And a lot of times people are astonished when I tell them, we can do this, but I have to open up the wall and move all the pipes in order to make it work. So if you call someone in the beginning and let them know this is what we're planning to do, at least if there's a problem, they can let you know up front.
Right. I would not think about ordering a countertop first before calling you, because that's just, I would tell you I want this great granite countertop, and then I would say, Tim, make it happen.
Yeah, and people do that all the time. They'll order the thing, and then they call me and say, you know, come out and, you know, hook it all up. And when I get there, it's okay, but we can't get there from here. This is what we have to do to make this work. And, you know, it's...
Well, that's why you're the expert, and the rest of us are just playing around. Tell me a little bit, when I'm thinking about doing remodeling, when I'm thinking about hiring people, obviously I'm going to go out for a quote. What happens when I call you and I'm looking for a quote? What's the next steps?
We schedule an appointment for a free estimate. I always like to come out and look at the job. Even small jobs, I don't even like to bid over the phone, because there's too many small things and variables that you can't tell if you don't actually see the place and the space. So we'll schedule an appointment and somebody will come out, we'll look at it, and we'll just go from there.
One of the things that you said to me when we were chatting beforehand is your business is mostly about relationships. Tell me about that.
Well, most of my customers are really friends now. I have people in my computer that I've had for 30 years. And yeah, they are. They're like old friends. I never hear from them unless they need something done.
Well, I think that's wonderful, because I think everybody wants and needs someone like you on their team. And I want to be able to call you up and say, hey, Tim, here's my list. Here's the garage code. You know, call me if you need something. And because that's the trust I want to have with the person who is in my home making repairs to my home. It's important. And
that's the kind of relationship we have with so many of our customers. I've got one lady that we're probably at her house once or twice a month to just, you know, put a new battery in the doorbell, you know, because she just calls me for everything. And but we're happy to go out and do it. I mean, it's nice that people put that kind of faith and trust in you, that you can have that type of relationship. Absolutely. Well, Tim, thanks for stopping by and telling us a little bit about Dupage Home Service and all the things that you do. Thank you. We'll be right back with more Business Connections. Stay tuned.